Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Lost Latvian here with a brand new segment on our channel. We're not going to talk today about fitted hats, but we're going to talk about the huge passion of mine, and that being collecting jerseys, or specifically how they call it down under, uh, jumpers. Basically what it is. I am a Australian rules football fan. I fell in love with that sport about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I've known about the sport long, long time ago, but I never had a chance to see a game or know nothing like that. So during the COVID times, I stumbled on uh, Fox Sports Channel broadcasting their games, and so I fell in love watching it, And at the time, I did not have any merch from AFL. And long story short, now a few years later, I got a bunch of stuff from that league, from AFL. And my passion for AFL keeps growing and growing and growing. And I'm like, by far, it's my most favorite sport at the moment, along with NRL, National Rugby League, both sports from Australia. So, and like I just said, like I have acquired a bunch of merch from Australia, from that league, and I want you to kind of come along with me, and as I'm promoting the sport here in the United States as much as I can, and just, yeah, share my passion for the sport. And season is about to start. Last night, actually, there was a Indigenous All Stars played the game against the Fremantle Dockers in Perth, Australia, Western Australia. I got up in the middle of the night, watched the whole second half, and yeah, it was awesome to see the footy back again on my TV screen. So, Indigenous players, Indigenous All Stars won that game. So, yeah, I'm going to be kicking off this brand new series now, where I'm going to show you every single team's jersey. There are 18 teams in the league, and I have a jersey from, or how they call it, a jumper from every single team, and then some. So first, I'm going to show you, there's going to be 3 shows, and I'm going to show you 6 jerseys per show. And then whatever is going to be left over, that's going to be a separate show about my other jerseys, because like there are like Indigenous jerseys, and all kinds of jerseys, training jerseys. Yeah, but from this point on, I'm gonna call them a jumpers, and so I kind of asked in Chat GPT to understand like why in Australia people refer to those jerseys as jumpers, and the quick answer was that in Australia the AFL jerseys are called jumpers due to British influence on Australian English. So the term jumper originally referred to a knitted pullover commonly worn in colder weather. So when Australian rules football developed in the 19th century, players initially wore thick woolen tops, which resembled traditional jumpers. So the name stuck even as modern uniforms evolved into the lightweight, sleeveless design. So yeah, right now all those jerseys are like um synthetic material, like a polyester material. They're very durable, they're very lightweight, and they're cool as hell. And so uh, the jersey, though, the name of the jersey, it's commonly used in America, here in American English, and it's referring to the sports uniforms and particularly in sports like basketball, football, hockey, and soccer. So yeah, Australia jumper or Guernseys, and that's another thing. Uh, like in official websites, when you go and buy stuff, it's referred as the Guernsey, and it's because the historical connection to the knitted garments made on a Channel Island of Guernsey. So that's where it was manufactured, and whatever came out of there, it just kind of, uh, that name stuck to those uniforms because where it was produced, and so in Australia you either call it a Guernsey or a jumper, So and yeah, that name Guernsey just stuck around, So it's up to you, Like I'm not saying like if somebody from Australia is watching this, he may or she may laugh about me, because I'm such a noob, but I'm just totally into sport. I try to learn as much as possible. And yeah, just kind of like bring the sport to the United States and anywhere else. And kind of try to educate in one way or another about the sport, about the great Australian sport. Uh, AFL League, AFL, Australian rules football. So let's start the show, and this is gonna be the very first one. Yeah, we're gonna look at six different jumpers, and yeah, let me start my screen recording here, and then we're gonna look at some uh, jumpers. Okay, so here it is. This is my little presentation, so to speak, first page. And the reason why I'm doing this instead of showing you those jerseys is because I have a very limited room where I could like show you the physical jerseys, and without getting in anybody else's way here in the house. And my so to speak office space is very limited, and I cannot move my camera far enough back or zoom out so I could comfortably, show you my jumpers, you know. So this is why it is what it is. So yeah, here you can see the little front page of my presentation, and let's go and look at the very first jumper I have. And yeah, so as you can see, you see my face, and there are two pictures. So that's the first one. This is the front. This is the back side of it. And for those of you who are subscribed to my Instagram account, you guys already have seen majority of these ones because I was showcasing them in my little stories, about how many days left for the season to kick off and so on and on and on. So yeah, it's well worth of subscribing to my Instagram account, The Lost Latvian. So a lot of times you can catch the news as they happen, so to speak. But yeah, let's talk about this jersey number one, and this is from Hawthorn Hawks club. They did really well at the end of the last season. They made a great progress from the year before. They made it to the finals. And frankly, they're expected to do very well this season as well. So this jersey, he actually. So this is the front logo. This Hawks. This is their Hawthorn Hawks logo, and then this jersey itself. This is a 2004 home jumper made by ISC Sport Australia company. And they make basically jerseys or whatever, for their sport, And so this is what it looks like, what those jerseys look like. They're all sleeveless, At the beginning, I kind of called them a wife beaters. My friend Lee was laughing. He really liked that term, and like a wife beater. So yeah, um, this is what it is. Material, like I said, is like polyester. It's very durable, very lightweight. It looks very stylish, in my opinion. Again, um, and jerseys do carry a lot of sponsorships, on them. And let's just go and look one by one what it all is, so you can see it on the right side of the chest. Like if from like when you wear it, it's going to be on your right side. It's an AFL logo. That's the league logo right here, and then. Another sponsor here, you can read it's Tasmanian, and why it's here, it's because the club has a partnership with island of Tasmania, which will expire at the end of the 2025. So uh, Tasmania is actually gonna get their own team, which will be called none else but Tasmanian Devils. So that's kind of cool. That team will come in, I believe, season 2027 or 28. Uh, their jerseys have been revealed as a concept, but I have not seen anywhere where I could like purchase it already. So that's kind of in works, but it's a green jersey, and it's cool. It's exciting. There's something to look forward. But this particular one, yeah, so the Tasmanian on the left side of the chest. And so what's going to be up here after this season, who knows? But this was the last year's jersey. I do not have this year's. And they have a centennial year, so 100 years since the club is in existence. Uh, Newer jersey looks a little bit different, but I do not have it, yeah? So then below Tasmanian, you can see the Hawks main logo, like this one is right here. It's a brown and yellow color stripes coming down. Then right here is a Skechers. It's an official footwear partner of the Hawks, and so they have their little logo right here on the chest. And then we look at the back side, so bottom here, bottom left, or bottom right actually, it's a ISC logo, and then there's like AFL, it's a tag basically. Official product of AFL, Hawthorn Hawks logo here, ISC logo, and yeah, that's the whole front. And so on the back side of it, is a KFC. They have partnership with the franchise. It's a franchise from the KFC, what we know here. So basically, KFC also sponsor the Hawthorn Hawks. And there's a lot of fast food chain, kind of companies sponsor these clubs, as we will watch later on, and see what sponsors are for which team. And then here would be the player's number. They do not carry the names, the name tags. It's just numbers only. And then there is another sponsorship here. It's Net, and that's basically I don't even know what kind of company that is. No idea. I didn't do, I guess, a research, to tell you what company that is. But this will be replaced like this year. It's gonna be replaced with superhero. There's gonna be a superhero logo on the back side of it. This one is gone. So 2024 was the last year you would see their logo on Hawks jumpers. So let's move on to the jersey number 2, or jumper number 2. And this one is a Port Adelaide Power. Very good team. Some people saying that they may be a contender for this year's premiers. So we'll see. We'll see. Hard to tell. So this is an Indigenous jersey. They have Indigenous around, so to speak. So they have, like, I believe 24 to 25 games a season, and then they play their games every weekend, and almost each round is tied into some kind of event, and this is the Indigenous round where they basically pay tribute to all Indigenous people in Australia. So, and then usually every year the designs are different. They're very fun designs. Yeah, I like to buy those jerseys, and I happen to buy this one. And this is also from the last year, 2024 Indigenous round. Uh, the jersey is made by Macron, which is a leading European sportswear brand. So they have partnership with Port Adelaide Power. And what's interesting is that, not like, let's say, NHL, where all the jerseys now are made by Fanatics, or used to be made by Adidas or whatnot for every single team. Here in AFL, each team has their own sponsors, like there are Puma jerseys, there are Nike jerseys, Macron, ICS, like all over the place, but yeah, it's kind of cool, it's different. It's different from the other leagues. So as far as the sponsorships go, again, like AFL logo on the chest here, this little thing stands for the Macron, which is a jersey maker. Yeah. Then you have MG, which is a British origin automotive brand. MG cars, and yeah, then you have these. Symbols, from the native Australian native people, Indigenous people. And so, yeah, it's a black jumper, with some teal lines and dots, and then you have like a flower or whatnot, and white, and you even have like some other details in here. And yeah, it's a cool jersey. And then on the back side of it, again, you see the KFC logo here. Then 1870, that's most likely when the club was uh, born, so to speak. Uh, Half of it is white, and there would be a player's number on it. Then you have this GFG, which stands for Gupta Family Group, who are involved in mining business, industry, and trading. So Gupta family. So they're, like, I believe they're from India, and they have ties with Great Britain, with England too. So it's a Gupta family group, and GFG Alliance sponsor Port Adelaide Power. So yeah, pretty cool jersey. I do not have the regular jersey. That's kind of like on my list to buy. But this is 2024 Indigenous round jersey. So now let's move on and go and look at the jersey number 3. And these are champions of 2023. That's when they played against the Brisbane Lions, and they won that game. It was a super exciting game. They won it at the very end. Man, that game was a good one. You have a chance. You can subscribe to Watch AFL app, and you can stream all the previous seasons, and you can actually watch that final game, the premiers. So, yep, club won the premiers in 2023. So This jersey is actually made by Nike. Yeah, you have the gold AFL patch here. Then you have Collingwood Magpies main logo, which you can also see up here. And so yeah, this jumper was made by Nike. Sponsors are also Nike. So some of the jerseys, they may not be directly sponsored by the manufacturer, right? But this one, Nike, not only they make the jersey, but they also sponsor the club. And so that's huge. Jersey is very high quality. To be honest, like comparing all these jerseys from all different kind of manufacturers, I like the Nike made jerseys the best. The Nike jumpers are the best, in my opinion. Sydney Swans also are made, they have Nike made jumpers. But yeah, what else do they have here? They have the Emirates Airlines. So Emirates Fly Better. They sponsor Collingwood Magpies. And on the back side of it also it's Emirates. So they might be the main sponsors because they got the back side of it and the front, it all costs money. So I believe they put in quite a bit of money to the club, and they are one of the biggest clubs in AFL. They have a large following. Some people kind of hate on them because they're big, and whatnot. But yeah, it is what it is. And another interesting thing about AFL is that AFL is more popular in Victoria, so that's around state of Victoria, so that's which is around Melbourne, and also in West Australia and South Australia around Adelaide, and on the West Coast, West Australia and Perth, which has two teams, Fremantle Dockers and West Coast Eagles, and there they have clubs also on the Gold Coast, which is the East Coast, on the Gold Coast and around Sydney. Great Western Sydney Giants, Sydney Swans, and Gold Coast Suns, Brisbane Lions, and so. But the majority of the clubs are around Melbourne area, and it's in general most popular in that area, and not rugby. Rugby, the National Rugby League, is more of around Sydney and that area, but AFL is in Victoria, So, but yeah, and then another sponsorship back here on the back of the Magpies jersey is this KFC. So KFC is involved and sponsoring lots of teams. So it's very interesting, very interesting. So yeah, that's Collingwood Magpies. And let's move on to the next jersey. And here we are, and we're looking at West Coast Eagles. Team did pretty bad last season. They ended up, let's see, I believe like in the 16th place. So third from the bottom. They are projected, or whatever, that they're going to do, they're not going to improve much this season. That's what the general sense is, what people are saying, like, I don't know. I don't predict them to move high up in the standings or whatnot. But anyways, I wanted the jersey. I have every single jersey of every single club. And here it is. So yellow and blue comes down. Here's the eagle head, like the main logo right here, West Coast Eagles. And so this is a new one. This is our 2025 West Coast Eagles authentic home jersey made by New Balance. So yeah, New Balance makes a lot of jerseys for teams. And sponsors are right here on the chest, Hungry Jack's, which is actually an Aussie fast food franchise of the Burger King Corporation. So we have here Burger King, Aussies have Hungry Jack's, and at the end of the day, it's pretty much the same thing, if not the same thing. And then here on the chest, you have a little logo. It's a Caltex, and it's automotive. Man, I have a hard time pronouncing this one. Automotive, automotive. Man, fucking crazy. My tongue is not rolling it out correctly. But it's a company in the United States. It's a U.S. company, but they're sponsoring, Caltex. They're sponsoring West Coast Eagles. They also used to have Audi, uh, Audi, I would say Audi car sponsorship on the back here. Uh, Last year. Uh, Audi of Perth, a car dealership. You'll see one of my jerseys have that advertisement on the back, but not this one. So it's pretty plain. Yeah, pretty plain. Besides Hungry Jack's and Caltex, there's nothing else on it. And what's cool about this club is that they have a very good rookie in Harley Reid person. He's a midfielder. So people are telling, experts are telling that he's gonna do uh, great, in his young career. He played well. He's kind of a cheapy player. He likes to get in, people's faces. He's a strong young guy. Harley Reid, cool to watch, but we'll see how his second season is gonna be. Not usually, but a lot of times, second season is much harder than the first one was. So we'll see how it goes. And yeah, so on the backside there's nothing. There would be a freaking number, player's number, but so yeah, that's the West Coast Eagles right here. I got the jersey. So 2025. And the next one, this is Carlton Blues. Uh, Not last year, but a year before. They had a really good season. Um Last season, they almost dropped out of the finals. They were not that good at the end of the season. They had major struggles. And This one, this one actually is a 2024 home jumper. It's made by Puma. Then they have a Hyundai, the Korean car manufacturer. They have a Hyundai sponsorship, so that's huge. A lot of Hyundai cars are even here in the United States, and all around the world because they're relatively cheap. You've got the AFL logo again. Then you've got this Carlton Blues front logo right here. And then on the back side, you have a Great Southern Bank, logo on. And it's Australian Mutual Bank with the branches primarily located on the East Coast. Partnership is secured until the end of the 2027 season. So for 3 more years, so 5, 6, 7. So for 3 more years, you will see this logo on the back of Carlton Blues uh, jumpers. So it's a navy blue colored jumper. Uh, yeah, it's pretty cool jumper. And let's move on to the next one. And this is a 2024 Sydney Swans home jumper made by Nike. And this is an awesome jersey. And again, like I said about the uh, Collingwood Magpies, my wife just came home from Collingwood Magpies. I love Nike made jerseys, man. They have like a little dots in the fabric. It looks very cool. So this is the home jumper, you know, and what do they have here? Again, AFL logo on the chest, and then you got the QBE. Now for 2025, they have QBE, and it says down at the bottom here insurance. But last year they only had the QBE, and red top, white bottom, backside is all red. Then you have right here SMFC. So what does that mean? So it basically stands for the team's origins. You know, they started out as a South Melbourne football club, you know, before they became the Sydney Swans, you know. So it's just basically pointing at their origins, you know, like where it all started. Then you got this little house thing, and which basically is a logo of this business, realestate.com.au. So which is the major partnership. It's a major partner of Swans, and it's the Australia's largest property website. So yeah, their little logo is here on the back, and then you've got this big square on the back as well. So now my question is, what I learned just literally recently, and I never thought about it. What do you think is this part? Like, what does that symbolize? You know, and like the Aussies, man, you know, they know what it is, but I want to viewers from the other countries, you know, or whatnot, to let me know what this symbolizes. Like I said, the team name is Sydney Swans. I have a theory, you know, like what I was thinking what this was, but I was completely wrong about it. But so yeah, I'm just want to ask you guys, what do you think what this symbolizes? Sydney Swans, right? And yeah, that's that. I believe we looked now at 6 jerseys. And so here it's one more time. First one, Hawthorn Hawks. Then we looked at Port Adelaide Power, Collingwood Magpies, West Coast Eagles, Carlton Blues, and Sydney Swans. So if I would have to rank them, it's kind of hard, you know. Like I would say my least favorite probably would be West Coast Eagles, so the 6th place. Then the 5th place would be Carlton Blues. 4th place probably would be Port Adelaide Power. 3rd place would go to Hawthorn Hawks. Then Sydney Swans, and number 1, the jersey I like the most from these 6 would be Collingwood Magpies. So yeah, all right, guys. Let me know in the comments. You know, do you like these type of videos? Like I said, now there's gonna be 2 more, and then some. I'm going to show you every single AFL jumper I have in my collection. So, yeah, that'll do it. This was Lost Latvian with my presentation of my jumpers I have from AFL. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Have a good health. And I'll see you on the next one. Lost Latvian out. Take care. Bye.